program. Can we just share ourselves and like hype everything up? So can we get that in the comments in the chat box? We'll be
Yes.
having Mr. Daniel come up very shortly to talk to us. But before we do that, we could just run through the online hackathon, the journey so far, and then would have Mr. Daniel come up. So as you can see on my screen, we've opened registration on the 22nd of August 2022 for the ARVR Africa Metathon. And we've had a lot of people register and a lot of people come on board for the pre-hackathon training, which is an
Oji, can I
instructor.
just jump in just to say
Okay.
how very exciting it is to have everyone here and to be at this kind of like stage in the journey with this program this year. Um, and I think on the slide that OG is showing, you can see the journey of the metathon so far. And I'm going to give it back over to her, but I see many country partners on this call as well. I want to thank you so much for all of your support in making this happen. It's been it's been one hell of a journey, one with many changes in dates and time, but here we are. And today, part one of the hackathon starts with the virtual hackathon opening up. So very excited. But even more importantly, thank you all for your incredibly hard work over the last few months. We know it's not been an easy journey, and we really appreciate that. OG, back to you.
Okay. Hi, can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you all right.
Okay. So like we said, thank you, Judith, for that opening note. So we'll just dive right in. As we all know that the ARVR Africa Metathon was conceptualized to enable participants to get knowledge, to gain resources, to be upskilled towards impacting the African XR ecosystem. And to that end, we decided to make it a three-part program that would cater to the different aspects that we are trying to help the ecosystem with, which is the African Metathon pre-hackathon training, the hackathon, which we are opening now, and the bootcamp. So from registration, it was awesome. We had a lot of people apply, a lot of people sign up, take part in the metathon itself. And then going forward to the registration, to the hackathon training, we also had people come on board, and it's been an amazing and really thrilling journey with that. A lot of results, the results have been mind-blowing. A lot of people have picked up skills that they didn't have at the beginning of the program, and we've seen the amazing projects that they've created using what their instructors have taught. So we had this in two parts. We had the expert series session, and then we had the instructor-led session, which we launched on Monday, the 12th of September, with 7 XR trainers. They supported, they gave their all, they contributed, they gave guidance, and they facilitated these sessions for every participant in their different tracks. So alongside this, like I said, we had the XR Expert series, which included master classes, workshops, mentorships, and we had this in different languages to cater to the different country partners that we have on board this year. And this was launched on the 26th of October 2022. And to finalize the training, we ensure that every participant of in each track gets to do a capstone project where they can put their knowledge into practical applications. And then it was a capstone project which people have submitted, and the deadline closed on Sunday, the 20th of November. That was awesome too. So we're looking forward to more of that and even better solutions across the 5 verticals that we are targeting for this year. And now we go to the second segment, which is the most exciting part. Good has become better for us at the Metathon. So we are opening the online hackathon, and it was scheduled for the 21st, but it was moved further down till today. So it's going to be a 5-day event starting from today, the 26th of November, up until the 30th of November. So we are looking forward to entries, we're looking forward to team registration, and the deadline for team registration is going to be tomorrow, which is Sunday at 11 a.m. West African time. So we are hoping that teams on board as soon as possible. All right. So the participating countries, although that's more peculiar to the in-person hackathon, we have Cameroon, we have DRC, we have Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, South Africa, Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda, Cote d'Ivoire, and Africa Online. So we are excited to have everybody on board. As soon as the online hackathon will be ending on the 30th, we begin the in-person hackathon as well on the 2nd of December. Apologies for that. So yeah, that's what we've been up to, and that's where we are going currently. So does anybody have anything to say or throw in or to talk about the success on your own end, how it's been, how team registrations are coming on? Anybody wants to share? Before we have Mr. Daniel come up. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
loud
can.
and clear.
Okay, so anybody wants to share? I know country partners are on this call, so do you want to share? Do you care to share? Nobody wants to go.
Well, okay, you know what? That's all right. That's all right. Maybe that will come a little bit later. Thank you very
Okay.
much for that run through of all
Okay.
that we have sort of like, you know, gotten to with the journey for this particular program. It's been uh, a very busy few months. Congratulations to all the people who took part in the training program. I hope that your learning has been very good. Congratulations as well to our fantastic instructors who really poured their heart and soul into making sure that they pass, all of their knowledge and skills when it comes to XR to a very excited cohort. I know it's been long months, but I hope it was as rewarding for you as it has been for the students. We have been fortunate to see on social media quite a few of the students celebrating their learning and their work. And we look forward to seeing what it all turns into in the hackathon. All right, so now we are moving on to the keynote, and I'm pretty excited about this. We have Daniel Oshineye with us today. And Daniel, well, he's going to introduce himself and tell you how he's connected to XR. But I will say that he was one of the very first people in the Missy 3D lab when we started way back in 2016. I'm going to stop now and let him take over. Daniel, over to you.
I'm just trying to confirm that you can see my screen so that we can get started.
I can see your screen, but there's nothing on it, at least for me.
Okay, how about now?
Yes, excellent.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Daniel Oshine. Like Jesus said, and I'm excited to be here and really say thank you to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to give this keynote. My name is Daniel again. I'm founder and chief technology officer at Evolve Credit. Evolve Credit is a fintech out of Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, building the credit infrastructure for the continent of Africa, of course. And I'm really thrilled for what we're doing here today. Like Judith said, I was one of the first employees at Unity 3D, and I did some work in XR for about a year or so with Unity 3D, and ever since I've been a very, very active participant and member of the community, and of course looking forward to getting my hands back into like building things for in this space. What I'd really like to do today as we kick off this phenomenal event is encourage you guys, inspire, and to raise your hopes. And the way I would attempt to do that is In the next 30 minutes, I'll tell a few stories of how, this continent-wide hackathon started, and a timeline of how far we have come. I would also have loved to tell you about the future of what to expect, but that today, right now, is not in my slides. It's not in my deck. It's not even in my head. And I truly believe this, that it's in your hands to build. And so let's do it together. In 1968, Ivan Sutherland created the first widely known head-mounted display system, which you would call a VR headset, for use in immersive simulation applications. Is a visionary, and ever since, VR has evolved at a consistent pace over time. Fast forward decades later, Emisi 3D, Lagos, Nigeria. And in 2016, Emisi 3D started in Lagos, Nigeria, and we organized the first VR hackathon, arguably the first VR hackathon on the continent. And since then, up until today, it's been over 7 years. And in that period of time, we've done a lot more. And I'll be sharing some stories. I'll be sharing the experience and how far we've come. So in 2016, we organized the first VR hackathon, and you can look at I'm sharing the screen, and you can just see some pictures to help you understand what I'm talking about. These are pictures of Emisi 3D people coming to try VR for the first time in 2016. Us going to events and presenting the technology and showing people what they can do with VR. But also in 2016, like I said, we had the first VR hackathon in Lagos, Nigeria, only in Nigeria, and it featured about 5 teams who built VR applications focusing on different verticals like education, healthcare, and tourism. Interestingly, one of the panelists today, after my keynote, was on the winning team, and you'll be meeting him today, and you'll be sharing some of his thoughts. And he also has volunteered to be a technical lead for the hackathon this year. His team built a VR experience. I mean, the winning team in 2016 built a VR experience that teaches you the fundamentals of coding. So you should look forward to meeting him and listening to what he has to share today. Then afterwards, in 2017, Emisi 3D also first launched the AR/VR Africa community to bring developers, creators, and stakeholders in the XR space together. And on the back of that, we hosted the first ever continent-wide hackathon. And it was a massive one, and it was a great success in 2018. So in 2018, across 7 cities on this continent, over 35 brilliant teams hacked all night for 48 hours, simultaneously building XR experiences around 5 verticals. So those verticals such as like education, tourism, healthcare, climate change, and social justice. We had winners across all 7 cities, but I think one very interesting part of this experience was that there was one continent-wide winner, and this winning team this winning team consisted of like 3 brilliant ladies out of Cairo in Egypt. And what they did was they built a room-scale virtual reality experience that teaches children about climate change via an interactive game about pollution. Fast forward to 2020, we raised the bar and hosted another continent-wide hackathon, right? And that's like 2 years after the first continent-wide hackathon, we hosted another one. What we really attempted to do was to inspire creators like you on this call to imagine what special impacts XR could make on the continent. We themed it Africa in Sight, Our Future in XR. And I remember, this is very nostalgic, when we were coming up with this, we're really trying to figure out what are the unique opportunities that exist for XR creators on the continent, and how can we really improve our standard of living, improve our GDP on the continent by creating XR content and applications. Again, that year, over 55 brilliant teams hacked for over 48 hours, and it was a huge success as well. Now it's 2022, and it's 6 years after this whole mission that started in 2016 by Judith Okonkwo, the founder of Emisi 3D and the convener of the AR/VR Africa community, and also the AR/VR Africa Hackathon. it's now bigger and it's better and it's much more exciting. Across the entire continent, we're inviting all of you to hack with us from the comfort of your homes, first for 5 days, and afterwards across 16 cities, starting from next week, Friday, so the 2nd of December. We'll be hosting over 1,000 hackers in physical spaces in 16 different locations on the continent. And we should get some snaps for that because that's really huge. It's a big feat. We've been working on this since last year, planning and bringing it together. And I'll just also use this opportunity to say a huge thank you to our country partners from all of the 16 cities that are on the continent that have helped us, put this massive events together. We appreciate you, and we'll be recognizing you at some point on this call, on this in this opening session. Now to round up, I'll just want to, the question I have in my head is, what should you really be excited about? Right? What should make you happy? What should tick for you? What should you look forward to? Why should you want to participate in the hackathon? And I say there are 3 things primarily, and one is potential. No one really knows what XR could be or how it would shape our lives. Nobody really knows. And that's the interesting thing about technology and innovation. Every day we just wake up, we get on our computers, we get on our devices, and we get on the internet and we build. And what this means is that you have the opportunity to play a major part in creating the future of this technology. You as an African, as a young person, as a professional, as a business person, you have an incredible opportunity to shape this nascent technology. The second thing is opportunity, right? One is potential. The second one is opportunity. The potential of the technology, and now the opportunity to participate in something like this, right? There are not a lot of hackathons happening in the XR space in the world. This is one of the few, and it's happening on our continent. And you should be excited about it. You should be excited about the opportunity of participating and winning the hackathon, because it comes with prizes, of course, as you might have seen across social media platforms. You will learn a lot more about this in the information session that would come after the panel. I think the third very important thing you should be excited about is big bets, right? And what I mean by that is, I'm sorry, just to quickly double back, I got carried away and I wasn't even sharing my slides. I wasn't looking, but to just show you, give you a sense of the hackathon in 2018. You can see from the slides the different teams in Lagos, in Mozambique, in Tunisia, and in Kenya. But also, I mentioned the team of 3 ladies that won the hackathon, the continent-wide winner in 2018. And you can see a picture of them. They won $1,000 and they built a very interesting product. And that's 2020. I'm just going to run through. And so okay, so that's 2020. Now, the third thing you should be excited about is the big bets. We all know, and if you don't know, you would know now that Facebook or Meta, formerly Facebook, is changing their entire strategy and building their entire company and their entire future around the metaverse, which VR, XR, mixed reality is a core part of that entire thing. Meta is also a proud sponsor of this hackathon, and previous ones, they've been very supportive. They've been a huge champion for XR, VR across the continent and across the world, of course. And according to Business Insider, Meta has already spent over $36 billion building the metaverse, and they have not even started yet. The annualized budget so far is pegged at about $15 billion, which means that every quarter they're looking to spend about $4 billion on the metaverse only, on just building products, building technology, supporting initiatives like this one that we're doing here. And so there's a huge opportunity to be part of that. You can tell that there are more resources will continue to flow into the continent, into the space, and it's an opportunity for you to even participate in that going forward. To round up, it is really exciting how far we've come, the progress we've made, on the continent, ARV Africa, MEC 3D, the partners supporting the mission. I'd like to say a huge thank you to the new hackers. So if this is your first time hacking with us, thank you for joining. I'm sure you're going to have a great time. For returning hackers, if this is not your first time, if you've hacked in the past, thank you for coming back again. We're excited to have you. For enthusiasts, people that just like XR, want to be a part of the process, just want to enjoy the technology and use it. Thank you. For volunteers that have that has helped us bring this together. Thank you to our sponsors like Meta, of course, and all the country partners and everyone who has contributed to this event. I would just want to say thank you. We could not have done this without you. And finally, before we go into the panel session, I would really have loved to tell you about the future. And I'm repeating this for the second time. And it's very important that we pay attention to this. But no one can really tell you what the future is. It is too much responsibility for me, for Judith, for anyone on this call to tell you what the future will look like. However, what we know for sure is that the future is in my hands, it's in your hands to create. And so that's why we're here together. So let's just do it together. Let's build together, because this year you build your XR the way you want it. And with that being said, thank you for listening to me. Right now, I will just introduce the panelists. Please, if you're a panelist, you can already turn on your video, but I'll introduce all of them and read short bios of them. For the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be asking them questions. I would encourage you to please pay attention to what they have to say. And I will start by introducing Tade Ajiboye. Tade, are you here? Can you just say hi if you're here, so I can go ahead?
I was unmuting myself.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so Tade Ajiboye is a VR developer. Has been a game developer since he was a kid, and XR came along and he became a VR developer, now XR developer, and he's still doing this till today. He was on the winning team and the primary developer for the winning team for the first hackathon in Lagos that happened in 2016. And I'm sure he would have a lot of interesting things to share with you guys today. So thank you, Tade, for joining us. Very quickly, Chizaram is the second panelist. Chizara, can you just say hi and just confirm that you can hear me if you're here?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Chizaram. Thank you for joining. Chizaram is an extended reality developer, and she loves learning about AR and VR and creating fun and useful experiences. She's been one of the very active members of the community here in Lagos, and she's been growing very quickly. And I think she's really I expect that she would inspire some of you to also pick up the skill and just keep learning and keep growing in this space, right? And the third person is Derek. Derek, can you just say hi if you're here?
Yeah, hi everyone. How's it going?
Yeah, thank you, Derek, for joining. Please, Derek, Chizaram, please, if you can turn on your video, that would be really great, so people can see your face. Otherwise, it's fine as well. So Derek is an AR product engineer and the founder of Euphoria Labs. It creates experiences and products that challenge physical limitations using augmented reality and social commerce. I know that Derek has also worked at Halo, a furniture startup in Nigeria. Something just happened to my screen. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you for that. I think so Derek's work has helped brands and creators generate six-figure sales and millions of engagements, and is always open to new interesting ideas and is always open to experimenting in the space. So Derek is primarily an AR developer, and he's going to be sharing some thoughts with us. And finally, Yetunde, we have Yetunde here on the call with us as well. Okay, I think we have I just got a message. I don't think Yetunde is on the call because I think she's struggling to join, but I'll let Camila or someone on the organization just help her get into the call. But we'll get started already. And I'll just start with the first question that I have here. Yes, you and the not Yetunde. So here's the first question, guys. And I would throw this. I'll ask Chizaram. So Chizaram, this question is for you to go first. How did you get into XR, and what was your first experience with the technology? How did you find out about it? Chisara, are you there? Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you, but you might have lost Chidera.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I mean, I think Tade, you can answer, like, you can go then while we wait for Chisara to get back.
Oh, like how did I get into XR?
Yeah, into developing VR and XR. What was your
I
first encounter?
mean, is majorly immersive 3D.
Hi, I'm back.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Chisara. Yeah, Tade, you were saying.
Oh, I'm still answering. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, like I was saying, it's majorly immersive 3D. Like you said earlier, I used to build games for a huge portion of my life. And then immersive 3D was trying a VR hackathon. And before then, I was very, let's say, green in VR. My brother was like, oh, let's participate. So I got less green and we decided to participate. And from then, I continued. I had relations with Mr. I did my IT there. And that is, I guess, the beginning of me creating virtual reality content.
Thank you, Tadi, for that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. I mean, Missy 3D.
So shout out to Missy 3D. What Judith?
Yes. Thank you, Tadi. So I think Derek, you can answer the same question. How did you get into XR or AR?
I think I've sort of always envisioned like a better world, like outside what we currently experience. I've always thought of that, that idea, and I've always been into, sort of games and cartoons like that, So I think over time we started doing stuff on the internet, experiments on the internet, going into online forums, what is 3D forums and all of that. And then when it became practical, something that we could actually use, phones got better. I decided to start experimenting while I was at Taylor, because we needed a way to sort of beat the market. We can't go with expensive setups and all of that. So we needed a way to be innovative. And I started basically using AR then to help sell products online. And I really got into the industry, got into sort of different possibilities, and then was able to start making money from it. And I was like, okay, I think there's something here, and just went deeper into it. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that succinct description. Chizara, are you here now? I think Chizara had some issues with internet, so she's gonna keep her video off. Yes. So the question is, how did you get into XR? What was your first encounter, and why are you still here?
Okay. I used to do illustrations and 2D stuff before. Then I got bored of it. Then I was looking for something challenging and something interesting to do. Then I saw someone, a friend of mine. He was creating Instagram AR. How did you do that? How did you create those? And I wanted to create. I didn't know that was exactly AR then, but then I just wanted to learn how to do that. So when I started watching the YouTube videos, the courses, and I got to understand that this is AR, and then there's a lot of stuff you can create with augmented reality, virtual reality. People can experience your stuff anywhere in the world. So I started first with Instagram filters. Then I've been learning how to use Unity and create app experiences, web experiences, a little VR by the side. And that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, thank you, Chizara, for that. I think what is really interesting is that you don't necessarily have to maybe do the most difficult things. There are actually no-code tools online that you can use to create experiences. You can do, as simple as even just playing around on Instagram or Snapchat. You can experience AR. And I think Chizara has done that to an extent. So thank you for that. I think you one day is still not on, I'm not sure, but we're going to get her on. But I think the next question that I have is learning, right? How's the learning curve how's the learning curve been for you guys? How again optimizing to encourage people and to tell them what to expect for people that have not even gone into this space or started building in any meaningful capacity yet. You guys have built some things, you have worked on projects. How was the learning curve from like the first time you started building till like when you maybe shipped your first product and up until now? I mean, Derek, you can go first, and then Tali.
All right. Sorry.
I think there is. Okay, I just
All right.
muted the source of the noise.
All right, no problem. So I think in my case, I'd say it's been very difficult and confusing because there was no clear learning path, and I think that happens to a lot of people. So you start off with what you want to build, like you have an idea in your mind, and you sort of like work backwards and build and just necessarily learn all the things that you need to build that. But I'd say it was initially a bit tricky because there are different parts that are important to XR that are not necessarily popularly said. Like one of the things is you're creating an experience, right? Not just a service or a function. It almost needs to be enjoyable to do that. And except if you have like a gaming background, you won't necessarily understand how important that is. So I'd say it was really tricky getting from the point of creating stuff that looks cool to stuff that feels cool, right? So it was very tricky. There's a way I would have gone if I have to go, like if I had to learn from scratch again. I think there definitely ways I would have gone over it. But ultimately now I understand like the full end-to-end, toolkits or tool sets. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's important to note there is like, I mean, if you're fresh, if you've not built anything yet, you're looking to learn, it might feel difficult at first, but I think Derek has said it. You just have to. It's not always easy, but you have a path to follow. I think Tadi, do you want to share a bit about your learning experience, your learning journey?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I had a substantial background in game development as a whole. Unity to be precise, which is still the engine I used to build almost everything I build. So I wouldn't say the learning curve was anything staggering for me. Maybe I'm just fortunate, I don't know. But I think things can be learned as long as there's like enough information out there for you to know what to do. And I think especially at this point, back then it was significantly more difficult. But now there are a lot of toolkits and SDKs and all of that to ramp up your development and make you be able to do the general basic things you want to do in an AR experience and a VR experience. So I think right now the barrier to entry for development is not so great, which is a good thing for you guys. And you just need to like learning for me is generally not so difficult. As long as I decide what I want to build and I learn how to build what I want to build. So I don't. That's the end of my answer.
Thank you, Tadi. I think that was really useful. Super useful because the SDKs and tools available now. I think that's a useful context to have. Just checking to know if Yewande is on the call already.
Yes,
Yewande,
sure.
can you say hi if you're here? Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you, Yewande. We already introduced you, and I'll have you answer the first two questions very quickly, as quickly as you can, so that I think people can get your perspective on how you got into VR, how you got into VR development and XR into the space, and then what has your learning been so far? How has it been learning and going up to this point?
Thank you for the question, Daniel. Morning, everybody. I started AR VR out of curiosity for me. Firstly, I was a games developer. I learned about games development, and During my course of training, I learned about AR application, and seeing AR application the first time was very intriguing. I wanted to know more about AR, so I went on to read about AR and also VR. Although as at that period there were not a lot of resources out there for me to really understand what it is, but the few ones that I knew, resources in terms of human resources, I know I reached out to a lot of people. And one of the things I also did was I attended the meetup that happened at MEC 3D then. And me getting to see a lot of people talk about AR, gave me more, understanding and knowledge about what AR was generally. So when I knew about AR, then the next thing was for me was, okay, how can I leverage this technology in addressing an important problem? And so that was how I started. I leveraged the resources that were online to build a basic application. I just wanted to see the application of this technology in solving a problem. So my learning has been defined around, okay, the problem I was trying to solve. I go online, watch a lot of tutorials, also reach out to people who were experts in codes, and have built solution in the past around these things. So it was always just in between me reaching out to people and also trying to just build things on my own.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, Yewande. I think what I heard, what I will take out from that really, and maybe everyone should, is that you should join communities. I think it's a very good way to learn fast and to cut down the learning curve for yourself. If and the online communities, of course, like Area Africa, but also in these different countries where we're hacking, there are small communities of VR and AR enthusiasts and developers. So you should join some of them. I think we have less than 4 minutes to go, and I'll just quickly ask this question. I mean, it's not a trick question, but it's a very direct one. Which one do you prefer? So, in the XR space or the mixed reality space, there's AR, there's VR, and there's MR, which is mixed reality, a combination of both. You can just answer directly. I will go Tade, Chizara, Derek, and Yewande. So which one of these two, don't say MR because it's a mixture of both. You have to pick between AR and VR. Which one do you prefer? Let's say. You can't say both. Tade?
I mean, preference is relative to what criteria I'm using. Generally,
Pick a criteria.
Okay, for just general amazingness and like the wow factor of the VR, VR has that ability to just wow people. Yeah, I'm going to stop there since we have 4 minutes.
Yes. Chizara, which one? AR, VR? Quick fire.
I prefer AR because I think that it's less isolating, doesn't isolate you as much as VR from your environment. I feel like it has less barrier to usage or entry. Most people can experience AR just using your phones. You don't need to have a headset or anything. I think that AR will help you interact more with your environment instead of just locking you in a room and then you're just putting on a headset. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was 1 point each. Let's see what wins. Derek?
I think ultimately they are like the same thing. It's just the way the technology is right now makes them seem separate. So it's just really sort of like full occlusion or partial occlusion, right? So like full coverage or partial coverage is still the same technology. So for me, in terms of practical use case right now, I would say AR is winning. But I know ultimately we would want to enjoy both of them at the same time, depending on the use case.
Yeah, you're trying to be diplomatic. It's AR. I heard you say AR. You're trying to say MR as well. But thank you. Yewande, what do you think? AR, VR? What's your preference?
MR. Is that an option?
No, you can't say that. No, it's not an option.
Well, I think VR, just like everybody, and just because VR gives you this complete immersion. I think VR is like the best way to really describe what immersive technology is. When you tell people about what
Yeah.
immersive technology is, and they get to wear VR, a VR headset for the first time, they see that it's a very cool technology. And most of the things we talk about, the alternate reality, the virtual reality, most of the things are being gotten, through VR. So I'll go with VR or AR.
Yeah, thank you. We're kind of out of time, but I'll take 2 minutes because I have one more question to ask, and I think it's a very important question. You can hear my alarm. It's a very important one, but I'm just gonna ask it, and then we'll round up the session. Um, yeah, please, you can share your thoughts in the chat as well. AR, VR, what do you think? What do you like most? But we had a tie on the panel, so that's a good one. So it means maybe MR is the future. And the final question, the last question I want to ask is, well, how do you guys think mixed reality or extended reality, whatever we're talking about here today, the reason we're gathered here today, how might this technology evolve in the next few years? And you can narrow it down to your field and the things you're working on, and you're like, hey, I'm going to be able to live in an AR world in the sky, whatever it is. That's weird, but just you can narrow it down to your own field and just like tell us how you think it might evolve. Just inspire this brilliant hackers. We can start with you one day.
So my experience so far has been leveraging AR for, the training industry. And one of the problems that we realize is that, VR and AR generally has helped to, reduce cost for organizations. And there's so much potential and opportunity, for AR and VR generally in the training industry, because companies will continue to spend money, in training, their staff. A lot of companies will begin to spend money, on in creating, or buying products that ordinarily could be simulated, and the same result or experience you want to get, you can get it through AR, VR technology. An example was what we did with Gesal, where we simulated, laboratory tools, so that school do not really need to buy all these things, but you can get it. And another thing that we are working on, interesting project we're working on, is leveraging VR, for the drone space. We want to teach people how to fly drones in VR. Ordinarily it costs a lot to buy drones and learn, drone as a first time, drone pilots. But this same experience is something that you can get with VR. So leveraging VR in the training industry is quite very big, and I think there's a big potential with VR in the training industry.
Okay, thank you for that, Derek. Very quickly, how do you see maybe AR evolving in the next few years? What should we look forward to?
So I think right now, one in every sort of like 10 pieces of content on TikTok is made with an AR effect, right?
Yeah.
So most social content or most digital content will eventually become AR content, right? This means a lot. It means we can actually play around with digital content as much as we like, and content is pretty much what the majority of us use to communicate online. Even right now, we're just streaming each other's faces. So I see us in the future having an actively filled AR content world, such that this event would be all of us, using different programs, different virtual avatars, or wearables, just to communicate with each other and share content and sort of make every single form of digital communication, really, really immersive. So, and in my case, how that benefits my business, where I'm building like virtual trial experiences, is we can start creating AR experiences of products for businesses without incurring the lot of physical cost compared to what it is right now. And anybody can start anywhere. You can be in Nigeria and actively sell a full experience to anyone in the world, right? And just work with delivery companies to ship your product. So that's how I sort of see it moving here.
Yeah, in commerce. I think that's interesting. Thank you, Derek, for that. We'll quickly do cheese around very quickly. Just tell us, and then Tade, we can round up with Tade, and then we can move to the next thing. Cheese, are you there? Okay, Tade, do you want to go very quickly? Just tell us how you see VR, if that's your preference, evolving in the next few years.
I mean, hardware-wise, I see better hardware, faster processing, better connectivity, and ultimately cheaper. And I think when these things exist, it would end up creating a very easy way to enter into the alternate realities, and a cheap way and a fast way. An example of this would be the jump between using like Oculus Rift or HTC Vive to the Oculus Quest, where the entire setup, the entire entering the reality was a process. Like, okay, I'm going to put on my computer, I'm going to set up these sensors before I put on the headset, and now I'm in VR. And now in the Quest, you can just literally just put it on like you're bringing out your phone. I think they're going to ramp up on the ease of entry, the ease of exit, and also better experiences and everything. So I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says, "Oh, Sword Art Online," but yeah, Sword Art Online, man.
Thank you, Tade. I know. I think you make a very good point because Facebook is doing all of that.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. Yeah, they're actually investing a lot of it, and I said that earlier in the keynote. They're investing a lot of resources in making these things happen. But you guys, thank you, Derek, Yewande, Chizara, Tade, and to everyone. I see all of you engaging. Thank you for engaging and sharing your thoughts. Please continue to do that as we go ahead with the event. I hope you have a great time and you get inspired to build something amazing for the continent. Thank you again, and over to you, Judith.
Daniel, thank you so much. Thank you to all the panelists. I mean, I personally have been super excited to watch your work and growth, and everyone on the call. I mean, if you don't know, please check out their work where they share online. Really exciting stuff. And I think even more impressive, the fact that their journey, I mean, we can kind of like plot the trajectory. Many of them starting like you are today, if you're participating and getting hands-on with XR for the very first time. So thank you, thank you. Okay, so on to the next slide. Very quickly, we're going to take you through what you can expect during this online hackathon. So here is the schedule. This is the kickoff opening ceremony, if you will. And after this, hacking begins. So if you are on this call, if you plan to take part in the online hackathon, please make sure you have registered your team. If you haven't, please go to the website, www.arvrafrica.com, and do so and get started. Team registration will close tomorrow. So once again, if you haven't registered your teams, please do so today. Registration for teams will close tomorrow. This is for the online hackathon. Hacking then goes on through Monday, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, at 11:59 at all times, West African time, at 11:59 p.m., submissions close. So you can start to submit your solutions from Tuesday, November 29th, but please make sure you get them in by Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. West African time. Judging, of course, will happen after that. And there will be an award ceremony for this online hackathon on Sunday, December 4th. So the same day that it was happening for the in-person events as well. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so here's information that you likely know already, but we just want to reiterate for you. We are asking for submissions in any of the following verticals: education, healthcare, tourism, social impact, and business applications. You can combine them, you can do just one, go for it. Now, sometimes people ask us, well, what if I have a solution that doesn't fall into any of these categories? What we say is, yes, you can put in a wildcard entry, but we hope it's something phenomenal because you want to be in with a chance of winning, right? But for the most part, education, healthcare, tourism, social impact, and business applications are what we will see. Can we see that schedule slide one more time? Okay, so can we quickly just go back? Yes. So here we are. And Albert will also have this information on the website, right? So don't feel like you have to like grab all the details from this right here, right now. We'll have that on the website for everyone. Okay, let's go on ahead. Next slide. All right, so here we are. Hackathon support. We know that it's going to be tough to build on your own wherever you are virtually, and we want to make sure that we support you as much as we can. If you need help, you should all be onboarded on Discord already. If you need help, contact us either via your country WhatsApp group. There are groups for a number of countries, or on Discord on the I Need Help channel, right? So you can just send a message there and somebody will get back to you. Oh, and while this is going on, if you have questions, please put them in the chat, yeah? Okay, if you need technical support as you build your solution, we will have mentors available for the rest of the month. And you'll be thrilled to know that the mentors are your instructors. So if you are part of the training, you know the excellent job they've done with you, they will be available for the rest of the month to support you as you build out. So if you need you're stuck and you need a little bit of help, mentors are available. There are mentorship rooms with the relevant names for who your particular mentor will be in that space. Reach out to them if you do. Next. All right, so for the online submissions, right? So the requirements for this, of course, your project needs a name. So here are the things that you'll need to do. Submission will be via a form, and those forms are available online on the AR/VR Africa website. You will need to have the following when you're ready to submit: the name of your project, a brief description of the project, the link to your GitHub repository, right? And this GitHub repository must contain, obviously, the code for the project that you're submitting, an APK file, and a document explaining how to test the project, right? So we want a comprehensive document that will allow the judges to take what is in your repository and test it out on a headset, if it's for VR, or whatever device you have built for. The other thing we ask, and we'll come to this, is that you, as you're building, commit code every day, right? So we want to be able to track the progress of your building on your GitHub repository. You will also need to submit a YouTube link to your project demo and pitch. So we ask you, your team, to record a maximum of 5 minutes, a video for a maximum of 5 minutes, where you are demoing your solution and pitching it to the audience and the judges, right? Record that video, upload it to YouTube, and include the link to that in the submission form. And then, of course, submit your solution here. Here is actually taking you back to the AR/VR Africa website, where the forms are for submission. All right, next slide. Okay, so judging criteria, very important to keep an eye on these. We will be looking at a number of things. The first is execution. Does the team have a working version of the prototype, right? So you have a great idea. Are you able to build it out? We'll really want to see that. And we want to be able to see the steps that you took to build it out as well, which is why it's really important to kind of like commit your code daily so we can see that progress. The quality of your demo presentation, right? So you can see the different like follow-on questions. Was the presentation clear? Did it include all the pieces of information to understand how the project will work? All of that, right? So 2 things here. One is that you have a video that you're submitting that will be uploaded on YouTube as part of this. And also there's a document that should be part of your GitHub repository with this information. Feasibility. Is the articulation of the concept clear, as well as the activities, resources, and partnerships needed to implement? So have you built something that can actually be implemented? It's kind of like what we're looking at with this one, with feasibility, right? Is the concept clear? Where does it fit in? What activities, resources, partnerships? If you actually wanted to go ahead and implement, how would you do it? Is that clear to us as we judge? And the final thing is need and market fit. And here we're looking at whether the solution has the potential to solve a need or issue aligned with the hackathon themes. So remember, there are 5 verticals that we're asking you to build for: education, healthcare, tourism, social impact, and business applications. And we're saying, does whatever you have submitted have the Next slide, please. Okay, next, creativity and innovation. Now, of course, one thing that excites us all when we're judging during a hackathon is seeing things like we haven't seen them before. And that's where this particular, this fifth point comes in with creativity and innovation. Does it approach an existing problem in a new and innovative way? Is the product or service new in the specific market, right? So have you thought of something that, not that nobody has ever thought of it before, but the way you're implementing it is really new or really creative or really different? We are very keen to see that, yeah? And then finally, technology. Does it make effective use of AR or VR technology? Because we know these technologies are pretty cool. And sometimes there can be a tendency to just do VR for VR's sake or AR for AR's sake. What we want to see is that you're building in a way that allows everybody to understand that this was the best use of the technology for this particular challenge that you wanted to solve. All right, so that's it for the judging criteria. Next. Prizes. Now, this is important, yes? Definitely something to incentivize you all. In this group, so for everybody hacking as part of this Africa online group, you will have the opportunity to win 3 prizes. There will be a first prize of $1,500, a second prize of $800, and a third prize of $700. And just so that everybody's really clear about how this will be spread out, we have 16 countries where in-person events and some virtual will happen. In each of those countries, there will be this group of prizes for the winners there. And then for all of the other countries, that is one group called Africa Online, there will be a set of prizes as well. Now, alongside this, of course, we have some other great benefits that are coming to participants. If you are a first prize winner, in your respective country or group, you then have the opportunity to join the AR/VR Africa Bootcamp, which will happen next year. So this will start in January 2023. And this will actually, next slide as I talk about this, and this will be an opportunity for winners to spend 3 months building out their solutions. They will have access to technical mentors. They will get a little bit of seed money. And the idea is that you'll be able to go ahead and build out an MVP, right? That you can then show off to people during a demo day that will hold around April 2023. So really, really excited to see a number of you come through to that bootcamp as winners in your respective countries and regions. Okay, so winners. Now we've got the winners here from the last edition, Team Unlimited, who were the overall winners for the continent, and Team Hewa, who were the best student team in the hackathon that year. Very excited to, first of all, acknowledge and celebrate the great work that they did, but then also to tell you all that the grand prize this year, we're very proud to say the grand prize this year has been increased significantly thanks to support from Meta. And this year, the overall winning team across the continent will win an additional $10,000. So $10,000 in addition to the one you got before. For the second place overall, they will get an additional $8,000. And then for the third team overall, an additional $7,000. So we all here are super excited. We can't wait to see who walks off with that. Next slide, please. Of course, none of this, and I say again, none of this would be possible without our incredible partners. And here, really just shouting out to the Africa Leadership University, who've been working with us since the last edition, DigiLeap, who we've been working with since 2018, Inkdot and Idea Lab, who've been with us since the last edition as well. 3D Net Info since 2018, Mohoko, who are first timers with us, and we're very excited to have them joining us. With OXR from the DRC, first timers, super excited. IDI, first timers from Uganda, and very excited to have them join us, as well as Guza Technologies. And we are so excited to see what you're doing there. Really fantastic numbers for you all. 5DVR, who've been with us since 2018. It's so good to have you back. SDK Games Africa since 2018 as well. Really, really excited to have you here again. Honor Stories joining us for the first time from Tanzania. Nubian VR, who have been with us since the last edition, welcome back. African Techpreneurs, who have been with us since the last edition, welcome back again. Black Rhino VR, who've been with us since the last. So excited to be working with them again. Go My Code, joining us for the first time. And of course, Meta, who have really supported us since the very first hackathon we did in 2016. None of this would be possible without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. I know we are pretty much out of time, but I did want to just say, take the next 5 minutes. I know we have a number of country partners on the call. And if you're here, if you would like to say something, I would love to give up my microphone for you. So please, is there anybody, any of our partners who would like to comment before we wrap up?
Okay, so maybe I can jump in. Thank you, Judith.
Yes, please, Maggot. So this is Maggot. So sorry, Maggot. I'm so excited to have you here. Maggot is from Egypt, and I don't know if you guys really caught it, but when Daniel was talking, he was talking about the team that won the overall prize in 2018. That was under Maggot's guidance, a phenomenal team of 3 women. Maggot, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Judith, and thank you everyone who's putting all the effort and making this happen again. And I'm sure gaining all the momentum that we have been building up over the 3 years or the 3 rounds, let's say. I'm sure we're gearing for really putting Africa on the XR economy map. So great job, everyone. Looking forward to all the amazing work that you will submit, and yeah, we're here again. Really excited about everything. Yeah.
We are indeed. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right.
All right. Anybody else?
Okay, I might as well just go. I'm not too sure if anybody can actually hear me right now.
Yes, Daliso. So Daliso will have you now, and then we'll have Guzo Tech just after. Please go ahead, Daliso.
All right. So yeah, just wanted to obviously share that it's been quite a few tough years. I think the last time we actually had the AR/VR Africa Hackathon was in 2020, and now obviously it being the Metathon. But I just wanted to wish people all the best. I think it's a sizable bag in terms of the prizes, but I think even the opportunities going forward, just considering that it is new technology that quite a lot of people would be playing with, and even personal anecdote is that I think it always just brings me joy that people can play with tech that they only thought was accessible in like Asia or America or Europe, but having to see that people can really touch the technology and see as to where things go from there. So all the best to all the participants in each of the countries, and then we'll even see as to the overall winner for this time around. But yeah, that'll just be it on my side, and take care. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dallas. So fantastic. Oh, and you guys, if you haven't checked it out, go to our YouTube channel and check out the highlights from the last edition. And you'll see Dallas so announcing the winners to a very excited group in South Africa. All right, Guzo Tech. I don't know, was that Daniel or Meti who was going to speak?
That's Danny. Hi, Judith.
Hey, welcome. Yeah. Hey.
Thank you, Judith. And I am just trying to say something about like this AR/VR Africa. We are the first, I think for us, AR/VR organizing this hackathon is the first for Ethiopia, and becoming the second highest participants are now from our country. And we are so excited about that. This means, we have like to creating more talents in AR and VR, and there are now big companies now looking for immersive experiences all over the place, and we are promoting heavily with the government. So I think this hackathon, especially this year's hackathon, is a very special one for our country and for the whole participants. And I would like to say thanks to all country partners. Everyone is doing their best, and I hope the end, especially when we do the reporting, we will have good numbers of the talents, and we spread how this AR VR stuff in general, this XR is impactful for Africa. Thank you, Judith. I think I always say thanks to you since the day one, and MC3D for organizing all this stuff with its partners, including Meta and Black Rhino VR. I hope it will continue. And I'm excited. Can't wait to see like the main show on December 4th. That's like the award time. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Daniel. I'm excited too, and really phenomenal work in Ethiopia. So excited with to see those numbers there. Grace, we have you from Uganda.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so my name is Grace Kebirunji from Uganda, specifically from the Infectious Diseases Institute. We're mainly in the health field, and we have so many gaps in the health sector here in Uganda, and we feel like virtual reality is one of the solutions that can be able to bridge those gaps. I just want to say a very special thank you to Judith for having chosen us to be part of the AR VR Africa Metathon. What it has really helped us do is to put VR out there and to be able to see some talent coming from different people. So for us, it's really so important because it has helped people know more about VR. So we want to say thank you so much, and we look forward to the hackathon.
Thank you so much, Grace. We're so excited to have IDI participating. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It has been such an honor to be here with you today. Thank you for giving us so much of your time on a Saturday. It is greatly appreciated. For all the participants, please go out there and hack. We are eagerly waiting for your solutions. We can't wait to receive them. If you have any issues, any problems, the team is on Discord. We are on the WhatsApp groups. Reach out to us. We will help you however we can. But otherwise, happy hacking. To our partners, thank you so much. Everyone, will see you on the other side. Have a very good afternoon. Bye now. Oh, and next final slide, the happy hacking. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.